This is Star Wars The Vintage Collection, Luke Skywalker Lightsaber Construction, part of the highly anticipated Return of the Jedi Deleted Scenes wave, which is wave 1.5 of 2012. Many people are considering this to be the definitive version of Jedi Knight Luke. For that reason, I believe this is the most in-demand figure in the wave. Consider yourself very lucky if you found this guy. He's definitely the hardest one to find. Consider yourself lucky if you find this wave at all. From what I understand, this wave's coming 1 a case, and each retail store is not getting very many cases. So this wave is very hard to find. I found this at Walmart. It was hidden behind in the clearance section. I guess somebody found it and tried to hide it so they could buy it later. Maybe it was somebody who worked there. I don't know. But they're not released yet, I don't believe, but they sold them to me anyway. And to any new viewers out there, first-time viewers who are new to my channel, this is what I do. I make a very strong effort to go out and get new figures as soon as possible and then get reviews up for them right away. So if you like what you see here, subscribe. Alright, let's start with the packaging as always. I really like the Vintage Collection packaging. I mean, who does it? It's really cool, and I really like this waves that they're using artwork of not artwork. It's like a painted concept drawing almost from the deleted scene. Really cool. Back's got a real retro-y look to it. There's the rest of the figures from the wave. I have them all, and they will all be reviewed. And each one of these comes with this little sticker on the front that says deleted scene figure from Blu-ray. So if you like that kind of thing, I guess that's a nice touch. Alright, he comes with a ton of accessories, and they're all pretty good. I like them all. Let's start with his lightsaber, of course. This is the same lightsaber that you've seen on the on the Endor capture Luke. Same one. I'll take it out of his hand. But you've all seen this before. I really like this lightsaber. And he has his unignited one, from where he's constructing it. You see him constructing it in a cave in Tatooine. I'm not sure if he's adjusting it or if he's actually constructing it there. And this is like a little tool he uses to put the finishing touches on, I guess. And he comes with his Jedi robe. It's a brown robe. I'm sure I've seen this robe before. I can't pinpoint exactly who had it. I was kind of hoping it would be a black robe. In the deleted scene, it's really dark in there. I can't tell if it's like a black robe or a really dark brown. So I don't know, but I think a black robe would have been nicer. It fits him actually pretty well. It's a little bit big, like it's a little long for him because I mean he's such a short figure. But I mean it's pretty clingy. It doesn't bell out too much, and that's the most important thing for me when it comes to a soft goods robe is that it doesn't bunch out and just look really silly. So yeah, I mean it's a little big, but I mean I think it falls better than most Jedi robes. And he also comes with a belt. It's right here. It comes detached. It's just a simple peg and peg hole. You wrap it around his body, and there you go. Nice little buckles on there, or buttons. There's no peg hole on the belt or on the unignited saber, so you can't really clip it onto him. I think it's mostly just for him to be holding and pretending he's constructing it. He can hold the unignited lightsaber just as well as he can the ignited one, which you just saw in his hand. The little tool, that's really kind of small, so you can only hold it in a certain way with that big part in the tightest part of his grip, but it's really small. So all in all, I do like the accessories. I just wish the robe was black and maybe not so long and baggy on him. Alright, so lightsaber construction, what is that? It's from a deleted scene in Return of the Jedi. Each Jedi construct their own lightsaber. I think it's kind of like a rites of passage. There's like a cave where you go to get the crystals to light them up. I think they're supposed to make them there, but Luke doesn't have to do everything, like all Jedi should. I mean, because he is a unique case. He's the last of the Jedi, so that's, I guess, I'm not sure if he's constructing it on Tatooine, if he's just adjusting it before his attack on Jabba's palace. I don't know. All right, so on to the sculpt. It's kind of a mixture of new parts and old parts. The legs and arms are from the Endor capture Luke, as you could have probably guessed. The legs, the top of the legs are pretty plain. There's not much sculpt detail in them. I really like the boots. He's got really high boots, and I really like that. The paint on the boots is a glossy black, and this is almost matte, like satin finish here. The arms have some good textures in them, though. That's also a high gloss black paint. Those have some decent texture in them. And then, of course, the part that's new would be his torso. And I think this might be what people are considering this the definitive Jedi Luke, is because he's actually wearing these traditional robes instead of this one where he's wearing that that collar get up. And there's some decent texture on the back of it, a lot of ribs in there, and some decent folds on it too. So I like that. That's a high gloss too. And then of course this little part, that's like a matte / semi-gloss finish. Now the best part about it though, I think, is the tunic, because it's half sculpted and half soft goods. So it really doesn't get in the way of his articulation at all. I really like that. He does have the ball hinge hips, which is great. I'm so happy this guy did not have hinge hips. I was really scared about that, but it's good. So he can move his legs forward and out without too much hindrance at all. It's really nice. His hands do look a little funny. I mean, so did the Endor capture Luke. They're just kind of a little. I don't know. It's that ball hinge in there that makes them look kind of weird. I don't know, but that's a small thing. His head sculpt is cool. I don't think it looks quite as much like Mark Hamill as this one does. And his skin is really dark. Maybe, I don't know if that's supposed to be like simulated sand, dirt on his face, or if that's supposed to be a shadow from the hood. But his skin's a little dark here, and he just kind of has like a sullen look on his face. But I do really like the hair. There's a lot of great texture in that. I love that 70s hair of his. I think it's parted the wrong way though. I'm not sure. He might part his hair different ways sometimes, but I'm sure it's usually going the other way. So yeah, I like the sculpt and the paint on this guy. It's definitely competent. As far as quality control goes, you don't really have to look for much. I mean, just the basic stuff: his eyebrows, his eyes, his hairlines. Make sure he doesn't have any bent weapons. This leg is just a teeny tiny bit bent, just a teeny. I mean, you can actually, it might have worked itself out by now. When I first got it out, it had a little bit of a bend going. So keep an eye out for that in the packaging. I mean, you saw him by him. So if you got this guy, I mean, he's about the same size, maybe just a little bit taller because his torso is different. Oh, sorry, let me get a focus there. So if you have him, he's about the same size, just a smidge taller, just a teeny tiny bit taller. All right, so his articulation, I'm very happy with it. He's got a ball-jointed head, ball-hinged shoulders, ball-hinged elbows, ball-hinged wrists, a swivel waist. I would have liked a ball-hinged waist or a ball-jointed waist. He's got ball-hinged hips, which is nice, ball-hinged knees, and ball-hinged feet, or ball-hinged ankles, sorry. So for Star Wars articulation, I mean, this is a 10. Yeah, I really like that. I think Star Wars needs to do more of these ball-jointed hips. I'm not actually really a fan of ball hinge hips. I like a ball joint or the Marvel Universe one's better, but for Star Wars, I mean, this is as good as it gets. All right, so final thoughts on this guy. I would prefer a black robe and maybe a peg on the lightsaber. But all in all, I really like him. He's definitely one of my favorites of this wave. I definitely recommend him. He's the definitive Jedi Knight, and he's one of the best. I would rate him like a 7, like a strong 7. For a Star Wars figure, I'd rate him like an 8 or a 9. Should you buy him? Yeah, definitely. If you're into a Jedi, if you're in a Jedi, definitely get him. If you're into the original trilogy, definitely get him. I recommend him. If you find him, consider yourself lucky. The other two I would get from this wave would be Lando and the Calamari pilot. He's really cool too. All right, well that's it. That's all I got. New viewers, if you liked my reviews, subscribe and you'll get more. Alright, that's all I got for him. Until next time, keep collecting.